In ancient Jerusalem, inside the walled city, on the eastern slopes of Mount Zion, a palatial mansion from the early 1st century was discovered, which many believe was the house of Caiaphas, the chief priest. Its rooftop offered a splendid view of the western wall of Herod's temple, the very plaza where today's Jews come to pray. The 50-foot wide monumental stairway, now known as Robinson's Arch, and the southern steps, where pilgrims entered the temple through the double gate. A modern view from a similar spot shows how the scene looks today. So let's take a journey from the temple up the slope to Caiaphas' house and see how the high priestly families lived in Jesus' time. This cutaway view shows some of the key features of the house. At 6,500 square feet, it is one of the largest homes from this period in all of Israel. A set of steps lead from the lower level to the central courtyard, with the main entrance and a lavish reception hall stationed to the right. Some of the precise plasterwork of this reception hall still survives. It had several antechambers, which preserved some of the rich colors that decorated the walls. Clearly, Caiaphas lived in style. This was likely the very room where he tried Jesus. Across the courtyard was a stepped mikveh, or ritual bath, with what appears to be an adjacent changing room. The house also contained a variety of chalk stone vessels, highlighting the priest's commitment to ritual purity. It was definitely a Jewish home. And yet, it also features a Greek-style triclinium dining room, imported luxury goods like exotic wines, Phoenician cosmetics, Roman pottery, and even a glass vessel by a famous artist from Sidon. This peristyle courtyard copies the Greek style right down to its inlaid opus sectile floor. Working with Rome seemed to have its benefits. So what did Peter think as he entered the opulent courtyard that dark night and huddled around a charcoal fire to ward off the cold? If he stood immediately to the left of this doorway, he could peer through a second opening into the reception hall and listen in on what was happening to Jesus. But his Galilean accent gave him away. Confronted by a servant girl, his repeated denials rung hollow. And then a rooster crowed. Luke records that Jesus turned and looked at Peter, apparently catching sight of him through that same doorway. Peter turned and ran. Yet for all their efforts to preserve Judaism and appease Rome, the high priest fell short. Caiaphas' own home speaks eloquently of that failure, its colorful plastered walls charred and blackened by the fire that consumed the great house in the same year the temple was destroyed.